Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyako from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? Let me check everything. I should have checked before I came, but just being random. Okay, everything is set. And I already see some comments. Hi, Samurai Yoko. Hello. Man, I'm feeling hot. Do you know one of those Kaido thing? Is it a Japanese thing? Heat pad? Yeah, body warmer, single use heat pack. Yeah, I have that on my back. It's getting hot. Let me first turn it off because I rule in this room or in this house. Hello, Yoko-san. Hello. Um, Yoko is an early bird today. Has spring finally sprung. Yes, I woke up kind of early. I mean, yeah, I should be. This is like 30 or 40 minutes late, though. I'm supposed to have this stream earlier. But yeah, I haven't actually. Yes, I'm finally on. I have an appointment afterwards, so like I forced myself out of bed today. Uh, hello. What is what's high in the middle and round on both ends? Ohio, Ohio. Hello, all. Hello. How are you? Yoko is looking elegant as always. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yoko, any unidentified objects flying across Japan? It has happened before, actually. I don't think we know where those are from though. Let me check. なんて調べたらいいんだ? How would I 飛行物体? Mm. This Huffington Post in Japanese says that Washington Post reported that Chinese spy balloons have been active in the sky above Japan. Wait, where's the actual article? So I wonder if they have the original. No, it's originally in. Oh wait, I can't see that. Let's see. Let's do a trick here. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I like this guy, by the way. Just an ad. Do you see? Yeah, Chinese balloon part of vast aerial surveillance program uses. And where's Japan? Yeah, you see here. The surveillance balloon network, which has operated for several years, partly out of Hainan province of China's south coast, has collected information on military assets in countries and areas of emerging strategic interest to China, including Japan, India, Vietnam, Taiwan, and the Philippines, according to the several U.S. officials who, like others interviewed for this story, spoke on the condition of blah 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 blah. So yes, it seems that way. No, but yes. Yeah, I remember seeing this type of news before in Japan, like it's a few years to several years back, but I don't think that we confirmed, where they were from. So that's bad. And I think it's the same for Biden administration that like their action was really slow. And I don't know about Obama administration or Trump administration. It might have happened before, but now at least we know that there are the problems and America is finally taking care of that. And I can't really, criticize that because my country isn't handling the case well, because with China, Japan has been in deeply in ties with, when it comes to economy, especially. So our country never criticize China, but it's time to stand up against them. And finally, Biden administration is standing up, like doing something about it. I heard the news that there were more balloons found, and where was it, like in Alaska, and also they've shut down in Canada too, with cooperation with Canada. And also I saw about Montana. So it's all over the place. And it's so like it's the nuclear arsenals, the nuclear facilities, like skies above that, or oil field and so on, and very important places of America is watched by CCP. And it's not only that, though. I believe that China tried to buy, or they bought. Did they actually buy the land near the military bases of America? It has happened in Japan as well. And as for America, I believe that like Sarah Carter was, reporting something about the cellular tower. Was it that they bought it? Sorry, my memory isn't clear. But anyway, my point is that China is invading into your country, whether you think about it or not. So be careful. Our Air Force has been so bored. They finally get to use those expensive F-22s for something. Yeah. But I think I saw this criticism somewhere too, that it's just a balloon and you use the fighter jet for that. You know how expensive that is? Too. Like I know I get a sense of the cost, because in Japan we do so-called scrambles. That it's actually China and Russia. The fighter jets from those countries fly into the airspace around our territorial airspace, or sometimes they break in to our territory. And then every time that happens, our Japanese self-defense forces, I mean the airspace uh one, they go to make them go away. And every time they come, we have to fly too. So that costs so much. We have to pay for the fuel, and we cost the soldiers stress level too. That it happens so often that it's very like pressuring the soldiers so much. So that sort of things happen. So I know, like, the cost side of that too. So that's something that you need to consider. Like, what are you gonna do about the balloons? Like, if hundreds or thousands came, because it's China, anything can happen. I still can't believe that the balloons flew from all the way from here, though. I hear that it's so, like, if you look the footage or whatever, when you try to see the airspace, the balloons look like dust, so it's hard to tell. But maybe it's a chance, though, to come up with some new technology to just to, in particular, looking for balloons or something like that. Hello, hope there is no balloons over you right now. Yeah, we don't. It's not cute like balloons, like we do have balloons according to the reports, but the problems that we have are actual fighter jets and ships, with a cannon at least. Like Chinese vessels come into the waters, waters around our territorial waters, around our 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 lands called Senkaku Islands in the south, like near Okinawa Prefecture. And China, like every day, they send their vessels to the waters around our islands to take over. They want our territory, so they always come into the waters, and it's usually a few or several vessels, and at least one of them usually has a cannon to attack. Basically, they say like it's the same as the balloons. They say that, oh, we are just patrolling or whatever, but we know that it's the military doing that. So yeah, that's their they do that all the time. So that's what we are dealing with, not the cute balloons. It's the actual military force that we are handling. And of course, America has been cooperating with us for our national security and our region. And so meaning that Biden administration knows what China is capable of, like how they do, um like how they invade and so on. So they should know. But the way that they are handling the balloons now, it's quick. But yeah, oh yeah, someone was pointing out, I saw, maybe Fox News, I don't know, I don't remember where, but yeah, like, do they have to announce every time the balloon comes into America now? Oh, here's one. Oh, there's another, and it's the breaking news every time. Like, and there needs to be a like some kind of standard, that should be set. Yeah, Biden took a long to blow up the balloon. Yeah, yeah. I mean, China always has spies. They have money. That's the problem. They have money, so they can bribe anybody. Like Biden family. I really want the committee to investigate the Biden family seriously. Like, it's no joke. That they might have ties with CCP. Yes, and that's why the bottom cause of China, I think, is that it's that they have money, whether it's dirty money or whatever. Like, it doesn't matter how they get the money, but they do have money, and so that they can bribe others, or they can invest in other countries, and that has been the problem. So that's why Trump administration was very wise, because Trump knew that if you destroy their economy, then everything else will fall altogether. So that's why they're like going to the neck, trying to make China fall. But I don't know how that's going. Oh, thank you for your super chat. Keep fighting. Did you translate that? 戦い続ける. Yes. The usual and the unusual. That's so true. Thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it every time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. You thought the balloon was by the government? No. No, I don't think so. Hi, Yoko. Hi. I mean, still, I think that the recent ones, they haven't determined where, like, or confirmed where they came from. So I'm not gonna, decide for them. But Mm, 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 America should not have been embarrassed before we started taking care of it. Yeah. Are you alive, Yoko? Yes. Hello from Australia. Oh, hello. I want to go to Australia so badly. Yeah, one day, one day. Like, it seems so beautiful, over there. The only problem I would have is like, when it's winter here, it's summer there. So like, what happens at the airport? Like, it's always a mystery. Like, do I have to change? Like, I worry about stupid things like that. But anyway, yeah, Biden is slow, but finally shooting them down. It's a good move. Yes, I agree. Like Japan, my country, I don't think they could do that, you know. 6万のゲームはやったことありますか？いや、ないと思いますね。I don't think I have played. I was not a gamer, you know, my parents never let me play games or they didn't buy me video games. So the only games that I had was just analog stuff or a little Tetris machine and so on. So probably there are Chinese balloons over many countries. I'm afraid monitoring military bases. Yeah. For some reason, it's not letting me play the stream. What? Like near Washington State, where our ballistic missile submarines are housed. The F-22 missile taking out a balloon was for show. Yes, that's true. They never get to really shoot anything down, though they need to practice. It's good to, you know, be suspicious of what you read in the news, but you have to have, you know, some kind of evidence backing that up, you know. And me coming from another country, I know that balloon problem is a thing. It is a thing. It has happened before, and I know of that problem, you know, from China. So like, you have to consider that sort of things. Like you gotta. I know that people are very skeptical, especially in America, like against your government. Like that's the American thing that you doubt your own government somehow. Like it's the American thing, but you know, don't get that blind you. You know. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Anything the government does expensive, it takes years for them to replace bridges and you see one or two guys working and 10 standing around doing nothing. I agree. Yeah, same here, same here. It's just inexpensive to use Patriot missiles or ship launch missiles to hit a target at 60,000 feet. That's way up there. Yeah. Hmm. I'm confused by this comment. I don't know what you mean. Biden is in bed with China. Yeah, that's the impression that I have because Biden is Biden administration is benefiting China a lot. Mm. Like Trump administration was great because it was sort of like a madman theory, you know, like we didn't know what Trump is capable of. And what? My husband is chuckling to his own phone. Weird. But yeah, now Biden, like you know, that he cannot make decisions by himself, like and like he doesn't have like a strong policy to protect his own country that he's leading. That's the impression that I have of Biden. And I'm working on a case here. You know, in Asia, China's influence is really massive here, and actually our Asian friend from Mongolia. There's a Mongolian friend of ours who is arrested by the Mongolian government, and he was arrested. He's an activist and poet journalist, and you know, he for his journalism or writer, he's a great writer and he has received awards, you know, like one of the highest awards too. But he was arrested, is it, yeah, last year, and by his own country. And it was actually under the, like, what do you call, like, it was due to, like, they say that it's due to the crime against the national security in like colluding with a foreign agency. And so basically, and it was like a crime against China, but it's a Mongolian guy arrested by Mongolian GIA, like General Intelligence Agency. And yeah, things like that are happening. Like it's like it's hard to explain, but just imagine me getting arrested by our own like Japanese police. If I'm an activist and if I'm arrested by the Japanese government or a Japanese police against the for working against China, that wouldn't make sense, right? But that has happened in Mongolia. But now our friend is nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize because he's a fighter, and he is imprisoned. Like he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. So yeah, that's something that we want to do something about, and so we asked our national diet members to nominate him for the Nobel Peace Prize, and they kindly said yes. And two members actually did. So, and it has become the news inside of Mongolia too. So that's something that we were working on. But anyway, so things like that are happening, and somehow Biden administration right now is like, uh, I'm not gonna go in details, but they are like, oh, Mongolia is an independent democratic nation which we share values with, and so on. No, you're not sharing values with them, because they do that under the influence of CCP. Mongolia, you may think that Mongolia is a very peaceful, like good country. No, the government right now, at least under the current president, it's not what you think. Anyway, I rambled too much. Hello, Yoko. Long time no see. Yeah, hello. Thanks for coming back. Everything in Australia wants to kill you, though. What? What do you mean? よく私の日本語はどれくらい上手ですか？とても上手ですね。Very good, very good. It's very natural. There's a lot of Chinese influence in Australia right now. A lot of Chinese immigrants get violently angry if you say things against Xi Jinping and the CCP. Yeah, it has been a thing for a while. Yeah, in Australia, yeah, like even when you know, I mean, it's a thing that they have a mobilization law. Was it mobilization? Like China has that. What is it exactly called in English? National Defense mobilization law. So if China says like do this, then Chinese people, even when they are abroad, like they turn into spies or their workers of CCP, and they will work for them, and so they do protests and so forth. And it happens here in Japan as well, that like my husband and I, we sometimes hold protests against China, and if it's a big event, then they send Chinese, like usually foreign students here, from China, and they send those little like young kids to our events, and yeah, try to stop our events. So that happens. And I think the one thing that I remember about Australia, I think it was Confucius Institute, that people were protesting against that, and Chinese people got angry very violently. I think that was the case. Let's see, let's scroll down. Let's see. Mongolia, its government is a vassal of the CCP. Yeah, because former socialist country, so I think that they still have the characteristic, of the socialist base. Oh, super chat. Thank you. I understand CCP is dangerous, but America wants to destroy Japan culture with poison. They do the same with Poland versus Russia. Ina, but LGBT. You have to be careful with definitions. Like when you say China, what are you referring to? Is it CCP or Chinese people? And when you say America, is it conservatives or liberals? And when you say Japan, like what level of us? So my understanding is that CCP is dangerous and they are committing crimes against the humanity, and it's the worst level. Like people talk about Hitler, and of course CCP always brings up the history of Hitler and what America did during the World War II and so forth. China, I mean CCP always bring that up to dodge the bullet from today, that they are doing all this. They have built concentration camps, and they have put millions of Uyghur people in it and making them work or getting rid of their organs to sell. And that sort of like they have this dark market. And they have colonized Tibet, no, Tibet, East Turkestan, like Uyghur people's place, and southern Mongolia, and they have recently took over Hong Kong, and now they're coming onto Taiwan, and it's the real threat. Like I'm a Japanese in Japan, and they are invading here, like on many different levels. Like it's a national security level, like our territorial disputes we have with China. They're actually coming in. They're coming into our airspace. It's on the news, and they have bought our lands near the Japanese self-defense forces bases. Now we have renewed our laws, so they can't do that more, I believe. But things like that are happening, you know. In America, I don't think it's about America. The U.S. doesn't want to destroy us. They realized America has realized, whether they are whether the leadership is conservative or liberal. Like it doesn't matter Obama or Trump or Biden. The policy has been the same. That they value the U.S. administration always, like for the past decades or so, like at least the more time we spend, America has realized the importance of the leadership here in Asia being Japan instead of China. They weren't sure before, but now they're sure. And so the ties between Japan and America, especially the Japan-US alliance, has been stronger than ever, and we are adjusting our laws together to work more smoothly, militarily and economically and so forth. So we are doing well. And even like Obama administration, there were some troubles, because I don't think that it's not particularly because of Obama, but he was not very good. He wanted to push his thing and cause like practical problems too, and that sort of things happen. But yeah, but anyway, so we work better than you think. The Japan actually works well with whatever leadership America has. But right now, the problem that I see is that Biden is weak against CCP, and it's making things worse. The weak leadership of America is making the world chaotic, because America is that huge. It's the number one, the biggest country in the world. So the weak leadership there messes up the order of the world. So that's a problem that I see. As for the woke culture, I do see the consequence of the debates in America. Like recently, the secretary to our prime minister recently made this stupid remark saying that LGBTQ people, like if they lived near him, like if he if LGBTQ people were living next door to him, that would be sickening. And he said that it was off the record to the media people that he was talking to, but the off the record remark sometimes can be used. So it's I don't agree with how media people use that remark because it's unofficial. But he said what he shouldn't have said, like politically, it's stupid. Like he didn't have to say that, like whatever you believe in, like he didn't have to say that, but he did to media people. That's stupid. But he did, so he was fired from the job. um but anyway, and so because of like, and of course the media people and the leftists in general here, they are taking the advantage of the remark, saying that, see, like those who oppose to same-sex marriage are evil, like that, very mean and discriminative towards LGBTQ people. And so because using that gaffe, now they're pushing same-sex marriage onto us. So we have problems like that, but it's it's not really about the country, like America. It's not about America. It's about socialism. It's about communism, and it's the ideology, not the country. You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't label country as it is. Like, I know many different people from different countries, so I know that when you talk about one country, it's a bunch of different people inside, and it's the same in each country. That's how I see things. So yeah, again, I ramble so much. But anyway, let's see. Oh, by the way, I have to go on time today, so I'm leaving in 30 minutes, okay? Uh, Yoko, why does Japan allow communist parties to run in elections? They must be banned. China bans freedom parties all the time. Yes, I used to think like you before. It's actually, in my opinion, it's against our constitution too, because we are a country under the symbolic emperor. We have Tenno, and even though politically he doesn't have, it's not like he's ruling us, like he's there for us, but it's written in our constitution, and communism um opposes to that. Their ideology doesn't allow the existence. So I used to think that the Japanese Communist Party, which has seats in the national diet, or they should be illegal. I used to think that too, but my mentor told me at the time that um, it's good to have them officially so that we can actually see them. If they go underground, if we ban the Communist Party and they go underground, then we don't know where to look from. It's harder to collect information. And if we give like a certain human rights for them, then they don't go as bad. You know what I mean? Because they're respected in a way. So yeah. Doesn't that show how free we are here in Japan? We're even kind to communists, man. But anyway, hmm. I disagree, Yoko. If the American type of leftists could flood Japan with foreigners, that doesn't happen. Don't worry. People don't speak Japanese. They can never work here. I used to date Americans. That's why my English is good. But yeah, my last ex-boyfriend, he was just an English teacher. He gave up the life here because he was stressed so much. And I listened to his complaints, right? Like, oh, what happened at work? And he's like, he tells me like the normal life ever. And I'm like, what's the problem? And he didn't even have to pay for the rent and so on. Like he had so much money earned. like it was double the money that I was making and so on, and I still have to pay for my rent, and he couldn't take it, and he didn't get to study Japanese language too. So that's what that made things worse for him. I think it was probably hard for him, and he was young, and we're still good friends, so I'm not gonna talk bad about him, but just saying. So that premise is just it doesn't work. Okay. It works on your desk. What you call like in theory it works, but it's not how it is in real world. Yeah. And feminism, by the way, hmm, feminism has been here. We have not only the Japanese Communist Party, we have what is it called now? Social Democratic Party, is it? Uh, Social Democratic Party, SDP. They're a socialist party, and they're very active when it comes to feminism and so on. And they've been active for decades. There was a time that they were very like powerful, like not the seats wise, but oh, wait, I think seats do it. Mm, why wasn't he? 村山って何党？うん。社会党だよね。Yeah, we even had a socialist prime minister before. So like when I was in elementary school, so probably like in the 90s. 1997. No, well, somewhere around there. So, meaning that they were active and they were powerful, and still, like, we survived. So, like, the way that I see is that we have flaws, like sometimes, like, even Japan had the problem of abortion and so on before we overcame that. But I know that they will bring that up again when they have a chance. Like, politics is all about, like, me being an activist, I know what happens in politics. The moves, like, things happen in politics. Why? Because there are people that deliberately make it happen. For example, I'm always working against CCP because they're our enemy, in my opinion. So every time there's a case, symbolizing that CCP is evil, or when there's an example that CCP is a threat, I'm gonna point that out. I'm gonna expose that to the light. Have our reporter friends to report that. So that's what we do, and it's the same for our enemies. They do the same thing. So it never goes away, like even historical disputes, even if you know that when like the correct history, even if you know that and you have all the evidence, they will bring that up, it's just how how politics is. Yeah. Let's see. Doesn't Japan's Communist Party get less than 1% of the vote? Yeah, very, very low. What's their support? Wait, voter? I wonder if they have the information. As for, let me see the support rate. Seito Party. Wait. Party. One. Is it? Okay, now I see January. Is there anything? Oh yeah, now I see. It's from January, and the supporting rate of, well, it doesn't even, 待ってね. Doesn't even say the name of the Communist Party. Oh wait, there it is. The supporting rate of Communist Party is 2.5%. So LDP, let me just show you because you can see the numbers, right? because it's universal. Can you see? So this is NHK, and they did a survey. So this is LDP 38% supporting rate, by the way. The biggest opposition party, like a Democratic Party, 5%, and then Renovation Party, 3%, Komeito, the other governing party, 3%, and then Japanese Communist Party is 2.5%. And this is a good party, people's what there. I'll Google here for you. Not National Democratic Party for the People. That's the translation, but yeah. So that's a good party, but they only have 1%. That's bad. And extreme leftist party, Leiwa, less than 1%. And Socialist Party, less than 1%. Blah, 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 blah. So now you probably get the idea. Okay. But the problem of Japan is that people don't go vote. Our voting rate is usually somewhere around 50%. So, お、日本からこんにちは。こんにちは。ありがとうございます。Let's see. 20 minutes to go. Yoko, I'm not saying Japanese people would flood themselves with the foreigners. I'm saying the USA is more dangerous than you are giving it credit because it's run by dangerous people who have an ideology that is dangerous to people. Why do you think Japan would just swallow everything that America says or America sends? Like Japanese people are so stubborn that you don't need to worry about stuff like that. Like like I see things objectively, and I'm talking to when I talk to American people, I'm not gonna say rude things to American people. You know what I mean? Like I have all these things that I have. I do have things that I think negatively about America, but I'm not gonna say that to you, right? Like, what's the point? This is politics, okay? Like, I know that I'm here talking to you like a friend, but still, I'm a political. So don't underestimate me. Okay. Oh, super chat. Thank you. Sorry, I mean U.S. establishment. Oh, you wrote something before and then correcting that, or I don't know. Let me read. I mean, U.S. establishment rep them doesn't matter. They exploit military needs for cultural goals. See meeting of Jessica Stern and Tomomi Inada. What is it? Did you write something else before? Did I miss something? No. Thank you for super chat, by the way. Sorry, I'm a little confused, but military needs for cultural goals. Who is Jessica Stern? The first hit when I type Jessica Stern, it says that Jessica Stern working on to, it's in Japanese though, working to encourage the human rights of LGBTQ. United States Department States scholar. Well, not sure of exploiting military needs for cultural goals. I don't get that part. But I wrote the China US super chat. China US super chat. Did I miss that? I'm scrolling. Oh, yeah. Oh, continuation of this. Uh, sorry for being confused. A little difficult for me. Um, I would say just that, like Tomomi Inada, for example, she used to be a very favored by Shinzo Abe, very like our conservative leader, right? And Tomomi Inada was expected to be the first female prime minister of Japan. Like she used to be called that she's the closest to the first female prime minister of Japan. I didn't agree with that to begin with, but Abe was pushing her. She is a she's a lawyer and very smart, in debates. And when LDP was the opposition party against the Democratic Party, there was a 3 years of Democratic Party regime here. So during that time, as an opposition party, Tomomi Inada did a great job, refuting all the points that the Democratic Party bring up about the historical disputes, like the Nanking massacre and so on. It's a propaganda by CCP, and since she is great at debates, she was really good, and conservative people really loved her, and Shinzo Abe noticed her too. So then she became so I mean yeah, and then so she was doing a great job, but then recently she she started to choose other ways, and it's what's difficult about politics is that it's not only about ideology. Usually politicians, at least I can speak for our politicians, but politicians here, they talk about ideology, but it's just for fashion or just to grab the attention from the supporters that they need. They don't We never know like on what level they believe in the things that they say. Usually it comes from what kind of votes that they want to get and what kind of people inside of their own political party that they want to be friends with and so on. Politicians are not only, doing politics to us, like the citizen level, but they're usually fighting inside, for there's always this power struggles. And also so like they need to get popular among the party or with other parties, like you need to have the influence. So like yeah, it's hard to tell like when you see let's see that if there's a meeting, that's just one meeting and you have to see what's behind, hmm. Hey Yoko, first time catching you in a while. Yay! I have some serious but interesting questions to ask you. What is that? Oh yeah, here it is. Do you as Japanese have an understanding of the ways of Koreans and Han? Or do Japanese knew them as much as they know Americans, Canadians, etc.? Do Japanese know them as much? Yeah, I think we're very familiar with how Korean and Han, I mean, like the Chinese people, I believe in English, it's Han is Khan, right? Uh, not sure what you mean, but it should be Chinese Khan, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. So we are aware, I believe. Mm, as much as they know Americans, Canadians, yeah. I think so because we have our ties are so deep, with China and South Korea, and we have tourists and those who are living here and foreign students, and also we've had historical disputes all the time, and we've debated for such a long time. I, for example, first became kind of famous in this field because I made historical song, like political historical songs about our historical disputes with Korea. And so then I exchanged messages and so forth, and we see the pattern, and I think that the rest of our conservatives do that. We kind of know, like, how they react and so on too. But the problem of conservatives and right wings, though, here is that they just judge Korean people or Chinese people, and that's the problem too. So, like, we know them to a certain extent, but not accurately. But it's the same for Americans. So to answer the question, it's probably the same amount, same level of understanding, but people don't see things objectively. People look at things emotionally. So, yeah. Hmm. Let's see. I would say watch out for progressive cultural indoctrination in Japan. The wish it was gone from Japan and the US too, and the UK, Europe, everywhere. Yeah. It's way better than before. I think those leftists were very active during Abe administration. It's the same for Trump administration. They were active against Trump, right? And in order to do something against Trump, they brought up all this like Me Too movement and all the LGBTQ kind of stuff. So that means is that they just wanted to bash Trump. They wanted to just put him out of the office, and they use all this identity politics. Even BLM. Like, where's BLM today? You don't see that. Why? Because they were using that to put him out of the office, right? Same for here in Japan. There were times that I was actually feeling a little bit threatened by the left, but today I don't feel that anymore. Why? Because we have a weak leader. So that's the good side of having a weak leader, that our enemies cannot bash them. Because like there's nothing to bash. You know? You know what I mean? Oh, thank you for your super chat. The government of my country, Chile, which is communist and progressive, is being an absolute failure. Please save me. I wish I could. Like we, well, isn't it like surprising that we're totally on the opposite side of the earth? Like we are so far, but yeah. But that's why we should be aware of each other. Yes, man. What's wrong with all this like Southern America that like lots of, or it not might be like I always, of course, like we humans always, we are self-centered and we see the world based on us. And I've been realizing lately over the few years, especially after CCP and Russia have gained more control after Trump is gone, that we are actually the minority of the world. There are like nearly 200 countries in the world, like officially. But it's like G7, you know, it's like seven countries that, or a little bit more of that, or 20 or so that share values. Even G20 includes China and Russia. So, like, how many are there, Like, the size of our countries are big, so we get blinded, but see, like, even Chile, people are having troubles there. Hmm. I think the bottom line of problems though in the world is education, that people are told to be powerless. Like you don't know, like you have all this ability and intelligence inside of you, but the education and the media makes you feel like you don't have that. So maybe you the quick way might be that learning history or learning about other countries cases to realize that you can flip, things. You can flip that system. That's what history is for. Like my country, for example, struggle a lot. Like even conservative people, like the percentage of us, it's slightly, like I feel like more there are more conservative people. I feel like that, but still, like we are the minority of Japan because people here are not interested in politics. Why? Because we don't feel proud to be Japanese, because we have all these historical figures, that we should be proud of, and those figures that we want to feel like being, oh, there were our ancestors were great, and then we have the blood, then we must be great. That's something that we should be feeling, but our history is cut off from the modern days, so we don't realize like we can make things happen, so yeah, I think that you just need to know that you can actually do something, Yeah. Anyway, 4 minutes to go. 2 p.m. almost. Let's see. Let's see. Yoko, are Japanese people proud of Naomi Osaka? She's a Japanese on her father's side. I chuckled to this question. My husband, listening to this, chuckled too. When we hear Naomi Osaka, we are like, she's not. That's hate speech. Yeah. I shouldn't say this, but we don't feel like she's Japanese. But that's just our feelings, It's a personal take. So it's not like it's a fact, She's biologically, she has Japanese blood or whatever. I don't even know. Does she have? Really? So yes, she doesn't even speak Japanese, and it's not about the appearance. Like if she doesn't speak Japanese, then how are you Japanese? Uh, and she doesn't even have the like from. I know that how amazing she is at tennis, but and she has her own way, but it's very like looking at her comments and everything, like even political ones, that's very American. And I don't see any Japanese-ness from her. Maybe she does, but as a public figure, there's nothing that I see Japanesey, and that's why many people are upset about her, There are people cheering her, for her, cheering for her. Because but that's because of course there's a small percentage of people that praises her for her profession, but when it comes to her being a public figure, um like we are up. I see that people are upset because she is supposed to represent us, but there's nothing like us, and it's not her appearance, it's how she behaves and acts and thinks, and what matters the most is the heart, and yeah, just compare her with Shohei Otani. Like he doesn't even speak English, and he's amazing in America. That's bad for America, though. Like I think that he should learn English more, But he's just being Japanese, and he's great at what he does. Like he has polished his skills and everything. So that's if you compare the two, like you realize that Naomi Osaka isn't like that. Hmm? So the Diet Party is like the U.S. Republican Party. So the National Diet is like the Congress of America. And in America, there are two parties, basically, right? Like there are independent people too, but basically it's Republican Party and the Democratic Party. But over here in Japan, there are a bunch of small parties, LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, that is the main governing party, is big, but they can't even have the seats as they wish. So they have like they are teaming up with this other party called Komeito, and so it's like two parties ruling our country. And they're opposition party, but it's not only one. There are a bunch of different parties. So yeah, our system is very different. It's similar to the UK, rather. Yes. And it's an hour and I need to go. Yup, 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 yup. Mm, 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 mm. Yep. Husband coming in with the fun. Yes. My husband is funny. Yes. Thank you for the stream, Yoko, and sort of hide. Sort of hide. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you always for coming, guys. I really appreciate all the questions and your presence, even if you don't ask questions. Just knowing that people do care about the voice from Japan, it's amazing. Okay. So I today I'm in a working mode, so I need to work. Yes. Work, 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 work. Okay. So have a good day or good night, guys. Thank you again. Let's talk more next week. This is weekly. This is a weekly live stream. So every Sunday for me, but Saturday for you probably. So around the same time. Thank you. Very well. Take care, Yoko. Thank you. See ya. Thank you. Keep an eye out for balloons. Yes. Thank you for yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Ciao, Yoko and husband. Happy Sunday. Good night. Thank you. Oh yeah, Turkey. Yes. Pray for them. Later, Yoko. Later. See y'all. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go. Okay. Thank you. Bye.